Daddy's Girl.
Hey everybody, this is Daja M. Rice and you are watching Daddy's Girl Live. And today we have two special guests with us. They are movers and shakers, influencers, and just all around awesome and beautiful women inside and out. Can you help me welcome Daja Jennings and Briona Jennings? Hey ladies, thank y'all so much for being here with me today.
No, thank you. We're so excited to have this conversation.
Awesome. So you guys know here at Daddy's Girl Live, we focus totally on the restoration, reconciliation, and reestablishment of the father-daughter relationship. That's both spiritual and natural. But today, specifically with Briona and Daja, we're going to be talking about and dispelling the myth of the ideal/perfect father. And let me just go ahead and preface the conversation and tell y'all why. Because I truly believe, and I have discovered with experience, that when you lack experiences, you often start to form ideals. And I'll say that again for people. When you lack experiences, you start to form ideals. And what that looked like for me growing up was that I didn't have my father in the home with me. From the age of 8 growing up, right? And so because I didn't have the experience of that hands-on father-daughter relationship, I started to form these ideas to hold my father to all of these false obligations and responsibilities. And so we have two ladies here with us today who did have a father in their home growing up. They have a beautiful relationship with their father, very healthy relationship. And even they can tell you that this myth of the perfect father, of the perfect father-daughter relationship, get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's not going to serve you. It's not a thing. And they're going to tell you with their own level of transparency how that kind of translated throughout their lives, okay? And so I'm just going to stay right there talking about our childhood. Can you ladies tell us a little bit about your childhood, the relationship you remember having with your father growing up?
Yeah, so growing up, our dad has always been in the house, and he wasn't a silent dad. He was a very active dad, very vocal dad, a very present dad. So all of our lives, both me and my sister, I'm 24 and
20.
She's 20, and all of our life, our dad, and he still is actively present. And so
yeah.
So growing up, it's 5 of us. I'm the middle child, right? And so come from a big family. And I never forget, when I was like a baby, my little sister, my big sister, Briona and Travis, they would want something like, Dad, can we go get something to eat? Or Dad, can we go to McDonald's? Dad, can we go to Wendy's? They would have to ask me to ask Dad. And then my dad would end up doing it. Because Briona and Travis,
I don't know. I feel like I was always shy. You know what I'm saying? I was always shy, and I was always following after my brother growing up. So, he was.
Yeah. Is your
Yeah. So we have an older brother.
Okay.
And then it's Daja, and then we have a younger sister, Destiny, and then a baby brother, David.
Whew, goodness. And y'all, I know all too well what it's like growing up with a house of 5 children, because I also grew up in a house of 5 children.
Wow.
I was the baby in the house.
Oh.
So they didn't ask me anything. They was just like push me around. I probably need to be having this conversation with David.
David,
literally.
Yeah. He came along. We were all older. So.
That's a totally different experience. And I know, and y'all can feel free to talk about it while we're having this conversation, but I know that even when you grow up in the house together, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have the same experiences. Right. So yeah, because you have like the youngest child experience, you have the oldest child experience, and you have like the middle child experience. So I'm totally aware of that. So I feel everything that y'all are saying. But tell me about your relationship with your dad. So you grew up in this house where there's 5 of you collectively, and then you have 3 daddy's girls in the house.
Yeah.
Growing up, did y'all identify as the quote unquote daddy's girls? And tell me what that was like.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I know for me, I would identify as a daddy's girl because growing up, I always went to my dad with anything, whether it was something personal, just anything. I would always go to my dad first. And I would always talk with him first. So I definitely would identify myself as a daddy's girl growing up, hands down.
Yeah. What about you, Daja?
I think I would too, as well. My dad, you know, if anything at school, or if I had relationships with my friends and it wasn't working out, like he would be the person I would go to. He'll give me that fatherly advice, and then he'll just give me the actual truth, like, you don't need to be connected with her.
Yeah. No,
blank.
Straight up.
Yes. So like one thing about my parents is like they both have great wisdom and great advice, you know. But you know, I love my mom. She's my mom. She's gonna give it to you how she gives it to you, okay? And then my dad, he's gonna give it to her how he gives it. So like both of them have really just, you know, developed us to be that girl, that daughter, that, you know, a father, that, you know, that relationship. And so I definitely think that I'm a daddy's girl.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's absolutely amazing, because the common thread between what both of y'all just said is that when you were younger, you were growing up, if you had something to talk to your parents about, you went to daddy. And you can just...
He would come back. If something happened in school, dad, he would roll up. He would roll up to the school. Can I talk to the principal? No, not the administrator. No, I don't need to talk to the teacher.
Right.
The principal.
Very extreme. He'll go,
but he'll get the job done.
Absolutely. I think that's amazing though, that you had those lines of communication open with your father. It's just so indicative to a healthy relationship that you have with him. And I even want to stay there for a second. Like, you talked about your dad being wise, your mom being wise. And I know as us growing up, especially around that 15, 16 marker, we start to develop our own little pinch of wisdom.
Right. Start smelling yourself a little bit. Woo.
Right. Start feeling yourself, start smelling yourself, and you start to feel like you know everything and know absolutely nothing.
Right.
And so then you have your parents there where they have lived life and they know a whole lot more than you do. And those two bags of wisdom, they start to kind of knock against each other. And so let's talk about that. Like, were there moments where you were growing up, you started to develop your own outlook, your own perspective, and that kind of created tension between you and your dad specifically?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe as I grew older, as I've, gotten older, I have definitely been very vocal. I'm very vocal in expressing how I feel.
Yes.
If I don't agree with something, if I don't like how something is done, if I feel like something hurt me, I will be the first one to say, can we talk? Like, I need to get this off my chest. And I'm very open now. So, in some ways, it has caused tension. I like to tell my dad that I got the strongness from him. And so when you have two strong people, sometimes it just does cause a lot of tension. And so, I do run into that. We do run into that. I run into that with my dad. But we work through it. So
yeah. What about you, Daja? I'm going to ask y'all how you work through it as well, because I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure you do.
So I can say that, let's see this. So I have a strong personality, as you know, and my dad has a strong personality as well. So I'm, not going to sugarcoat it. Like sometimes we don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
But I figured out that he knows way more than I do. Like at 15, 16, when I was in high school, it was not registering in my head. But now that I look at it, I'm like, yeah, he knows way more than me. Yeah. Like all of this advice, it was helpful. At the time, I didn't want to hear it. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't. But it was needed and it was necessary. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm glad that everything, even now, if I might not see eye to eye, I just think like, he knows more than me. Let me just be quiet. I think I know, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Daja, what I hear you saying is sometimes just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, she does. And I'm the total opposite.
Right.
I will happily share how I feel in a very respectful way, but I will happily share how I feel.
Briona, type that has to have the last word.
I think that's
maybe.
yes.
Yeah, I do.
I think my older sister Dana is like that. Like she has to have the last word. I'm more so like Daja, the Dajas. I'm more so like Daja. I'm like, all right, well, hey, listen, I'm not about to burn myself out trying to make you see it my way. You clearly do.
That's her, and yeah. So
I'll walk away still thinking I'm right.
Right.
Like you just don't understand, but I know I'm right. So that's so cool. But so that's how you work through it. I hear Daja, you say you work through those tense moments and probably those moments of disagreement by just kind of, waving your flag. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll just take it. You know more than I do. Briona, you're like, I'm gonna fight to the end.
Yeah, and
how do you work through it? How does it not become like a bigger issue?
Yeah, well, I mean, just being very transparent, sometimes, there are things that sometimes me and my dad were like, don't see eye to eye about, or it's like, I'm very strong and he's very strong. And so I like to have the last word. So we made it, sometimes to be honest, it may not end in like, oh, you're right, or I'm right. It just may end in, we're just going to take a break. Maybe not going to talk about this for a minute, go separate ways, cool down, next day, hey Dad, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah.
And that's just sometimes, honestly, how we have to work through it.
And then one thing about me, I'm like, if I know I'm wrong, I'm easy to forgive. Like, I'm easy to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right here, it takes her 2,000. I'm like, Briona, now you know you're wrong. You need to.
But I still try to find.
She'll wait 24 hours after the situation.
In my head, I'm still like, but
she's like,
I'm not wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
See me, I'm like, listen, I'm sorry. You right.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
Yeah,
I love that.
Total opposite.
Being quick to say I'm sorry, being quick to apologize. I mean, I definitely feel that, like, growing up without my dad in the home, but I still had a relationship with my dad, like a long distance relationship, if you can say that. And even as I grew older and our bond began to kind of like mend from all of the damage that was done while we were long distance during my teenage years and childhood, I started to learn that my dad was more than just my dad. He was a man, and so I started, and that perspective helped me to accept his flaws and not expect him to be perfect all the time, knowing that disagreements, tension, times eye to eye, it is okay. And so I wanted to talk to y'all about that as well. Is like, as you get older, you start to redefine your parents' role in your life. Many of us, we start to set these boundaries, or we just get a fresh understanding of like who dad is in my life, who mom is in my life. And so for me, it was like, okay, I have to see you as a man first so that I don't set you up to fail by holding you to these false obligations and responsibilities. What was that like for y'all, where it's like, I need to start redefining who my dad is in my life, because now I'm starting to redefine who I am as a woman, as a young lady. Can y'all talk about that?
Yeah. And I think my dad says something, like when you're 18 and under, parents are your supervisor. But then you get, especially 21 and plus, they become an advisor. And so, definitely shifting into college and now, adulthood. So now I see my dad as an advisor. And growing up, I was so close to my dad, and we still are very close. And so, growing up, I told him everything. And so, now I have my moments where I'm just like, don't want to talk about it. But he can tell like something's going on. I'm just like, don't want to talk about it right now. So, yeah, things definitely kind of are shifting, you know, as it relates to him being a supervisor to now an advisor. And, you know, growing up, if he feels something is wrong, he's going to get it out. But now, you know, he'll just let me have my moment, do his thing. And he knows that, you know, I'll come around. So,
yeah, my dad, he's very wise. He's very wise. So even when we try to have our moments at the ages that we are, he won't, you know, beat us up and be like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Take us a minute. And then normally, you know me, because I say sorry, I just normally say like, you know, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. Briona, kind of just a little bit more, 48 hours. Yeah.
Right.
No, but I can totally see what Briona is saying. Like now he's an advisor. So he gives us that advice. You know what I'm saying? He wants us to live, of course, but he's still there. He's still present. So it might not be buddy, but we still buddy. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. But so like literally I can still go up to my dad for anything, any situation that I'm having. One thing that I really remember was when I was really young, I don't know if it was like middle school, I was going through a situation with like some people and they were like bullying me. And I'll never forget, we were in the car and my dad said, "What's wrong?" And like he's so sweet. He was making that thing, "What's wrong?" And I said, nothing. He said, "No, something's wrong with you, Daja. Something's wrong." And I said, "Well, there's some people like at my school that was bullying me." And then right there, he said the right words. Right there, watching you, and just knowing that I have someone that can be there for me. Even when people are talking against me. I mean, I'm about to cry. Even when I don't feel like I was loved at that time, but I know I was loved because of my parents, you know what I'm saying? So I have someone that was right there to talk to and to lean on. And even now, certain issues that I might be going through, I know that my dad is going to be right there. No matter what the situation is, he is my father, and he's still going to be my father. The same relationship we had back then, we have that right now. Recently, like, I believe going into college, I had a hard time, that transition from senior to actually going into college. Yeah. For some reason, I could not get an acceptance letter to a college. And it was crazy because I'm like, I have these good grades. I worked really hard. I have so many organizations. I'm leaders to these clubs. I mean, I'm involved in my church. I'm like, God, I don't know what is going on. It was crazy. And I never forgot, I was in my room, I was crying. I was like, oh, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know. And my dad said just a small couple of words. Here we go. What's going on? What's going on? I said, Dad, like, I'm just struggling. Like, I can't get into a college. They won't accept me. And he said, the smallest, he said, you know you can do it. And you know, we hear that you can do it a lot. We've grown up in church, okay? So we know that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So when I heard that, I was like, yeah, I can do it. You know, he said, what's your last name? I said, Jennings. No, you didn't say it right. What's your last name? He said, that's it. You can do it. And then from there, literally, I had to pick me up. Yeah. And then literally, I said, you know what? I can do it. I'm going to take this test one more time. I'm going to apply to these colleges. And then from there, literally, I got acceptance letter. I was like, Daddy, I did it. Yeah. But literally, I'm saying, like, every situation that I am in, good, bad, ugly, or whatnot, he has been present. And that's just
Yes, I love that so much, because even girls who you may not have your natural father in the home with you, like, you can even relate to that with your heavenly father. right? I mean,
yeah.
Deja, you're talking about in those times where you may not believe, or it may be hard to see yourself in standing in this bright light, right? Your father was able to give you a simple reminder that just propelled you forward. And I even want to encourage people who are watching, like, when you get in those moments where it's hard to believe, you have a father. Even if your natural father isn't there, you have a heavenly father, and there's a whole book of reminders for you. Called the Bible. Open it up. Just turn to any page, and there will be something there, a simple reminder. His word says that he speaks in a still small voice, and I believe that still small voice is powerful enough to combat those loud lies that our enemy tries to fill our head with, right? And so even when you feel like you're not enough, your father, your heavenly father says, what you said, Daja, you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. Yes, the simple reminders you can find even in your heavenly father. And so, I mean, it is an honor and a privilege to have someone in the natural to do that for you. Oh my God, what a blessing. But don't feel like if you don't have that, that you cannot get encouraged, that you cannot, uplifted in those moments. You have somebody to do it for you.
Deja, you know what? I believe that, the more that you dig into the word, the more that you'll really find out who you are.
Yeah.
The more that you read about them, you'll find out who you are. So spiritual father, natural father, the more that you actually get to know who your father is spiritually, the more you'll know that who you are, that you are his daddy's girl.
Yeah.
That's how it happened for me. I was tore all the way up. I'm not even, I was tore up because I didn't know who I was. Because I was either identifying myself by what I did or who I was around. Check this out, who raised me, the mistakes parents made, the mistakes I made. That's how I used to identify myself. But then I got introduced to Romans 8:15 that tells us we are no longer accepting the spirit of fear, the spirit of bondage against fear, but we have been received as children of God. We received the spirit of adoption. And so I just want to encourage y'all. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that, Daja. Pastor Daja, because she's also the youth pastor at the Heart Tabernacle Church. But I agree with that. Since we're getting into the word now, let me give you your title. But absolutely, I agree with that. The more you dig into the word, the more you start to fill your spirit and your mind with what God thinks about you. You'll find out more and more who you are, how awesome you are, how powerful you are, how undefeated you can be when you identify yourself as a daddy's girl. I love it. I absolutely. You know what? I think that's it. I think we said what needs to be said, and I'm so grateful for y'all coming. But I can't let y'all go without playing a little game. Playing a little game. We're gonna play a little game called "Who's Your Daddy?" Who's your daddy? And I will give you like a little riddle, and then by hearing that riddle, you're gonna have to guess who the daddy is. So all of these fathers, all of these daddies are from popular television shows or movies.
We got the wrong sister.
Right?
So
I'm not big on TV, but okay, you can
give me the character's name. You don't have to give me the actor's name because I probably don't know the actor's name anyway. So you can give me the character's name. All right, here we go. I'm gonna start out. This one, this might be a tough one. All right, no, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Here we go. So this TV daddy was an esteemed doctor living in Brooklyn with his wife and 5 children.
Bill Cosby.
Yes! Y'all be knowing.
Thank you. Thank you for that one. That was a good one.
That was good.
But yeah, definitely Bill Cosby. Love the Cosby Show. So here's the next one. Although this Bel Air daddy was a father to Hillary, Carlton, and Ashley, we loved him for his will to take care of someone else's child.
Dr. Phil. No.
What?
I know it's not Dr. Phil, but
Phil.
Yeah, it was Phil. You trying to say Uncle Phil? We gonna give.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, I knew Will Smith didn't.
We gonna give it to you.
Uncle Phil. Okay.
No, we gonna give
watch the show.
y'all. Black
Watch that show.
people, don't take her card. She said Phil. She got the Phil part.
I know
Right.
it was
Take
Phil.
the black
I
card.
know it's not the actual Dr. Phil, but
Right. All right. Here's another one. Here goes another one. Although this daddy was barely keeping his head above water, we loved him for all the good times he gave us while raising his 3 children in the ghetto of Chicago.
what's his name? James?
Yes! James Evans!
Good times, good times.
Right.
You need them.
Daja was like, Briona, you handle the questions. I'm going to sing the theme.
Listen.
Right.
I love that song.
That's right. We got our own little personal jukebox. All right, this one is a fun one. This personified daddy taught us all about the circle of life.
Oh, Mufasa.
I overly. I was like,
Daja was like,
She
what?
said she had the wrong sister, and the whole time, this whole game, she been hitting my leg. Like, I know this.
first of all, don't you do that. Don't you do that. Nobody was saying her leg.
I love the support right now. It's great.
Right.
From Rob is just too much. All right. And I thought it would be nice to just include a little bonus. So see if you can guess this one. This daddy is not only the father of 5 influencers, but he is impacting the world every day as he fulfills his life purpose to gather the end time harvest.
Dr. Tracy!
Yes, that's Dr. Travis C. Jennings,
Thank you.
your father, the leader at the Harvest Tabernacle Church. Y'all, this has been so fun.
It has been fun.
Thank you so much, Daja. This platform that you're doing is amazing.
Yeah.
It's bringing like that. You know, we do honor dads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes,
even those that might not have a natural dad, but they know that they have a spiritual dad above.
Yeah.
So you're doing what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Especially during a time like this when so much is happening and our Black men in general are under attack, but we honor the fathers. And so I just want to thank y'all one more time for joining me here, for encouraging all of the viewers for this awesome conversation. And you guys, listen, we'll be back here every Friday for the next several weeks for Daddy's Girl Live. And remember, on June 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Daddy's Girls Re-Identified, the documentary film, is going to premiere right here on Facebook. But you got to get your ticket. Go to www.thericelessenterprises.com/merch. Get your ticket so that you and your whole entire family can enjoy this powerful documentary from the comfort of your own home. Daja and Briona, thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much for having us.
All right.
Thank you.
Love y'all. Thanks. And so everybody, love and light. God bless.
It's just you and me.